Well, I've been fairly busy the last couple of weeks, and on top of that, I had an animation test I was working on last week, so I didn't get a lot done on my personal stuff. About a week, maybe it was a week and a half ago, I put up a short post on Toon Shaders in Maya as I was kind of exploring them and thought it was pretty cool. So I thought I'd just make a quick video to show you kind of the basics of what I was doing there. So here we are in Maya. And you'll probably remember this is the light attack that I've been working on for this guy. You can see I've got some basic shaders applied and simple lighting. If I go to the lighting tab up here, I can turn on shadows. We can see how that's looking. But I think for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to keep those turned off as it's just a bit distracting. So if we want that cartoony look, the first thing I need to do is go up here and go into rendering mode. And then I go over here and there is a Toon tab. If I click on this, I can actually tear off the Toon tab. And this is what we're going to be using over here. And the first thing we're going to be using is this Assign Fill Shader. So now we've got this menu over here. It's easy to access. The next thing I want to do is I want to select everything that is currently shaded with the blue skin tone. And what the easiest way to do that for me is I've got my hypershade open here. This here is the skin tone. And if I right click this material, one of the options is to select objects with material. So if I do that, now you can see all the blue shaded areas are selected. So now we can get into the cool part. So I go back over here to this Toon menu and I want to assign a fill shader, and I want that fill shader, the easiest one, you can explore all of these here, but the easiest one I think is to go with this light angle two-tone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see immediately what that does. Turns everything white. And the reason for that is, we'll go over here, we got this light angle shader. Basically what this is it's just a ramp shader. So I've got two colors here. I've got a white and kind of a gray set up. But what you can do is you can choose what those colors are going to be. So you click on the little circle here, and then that allows you to choose a color. Let's play with red this time. We'll make it kind of a dark red like that. And then we can choose the white color to be the same thing, but a little brighter. So now what you can see now is areas that would be in shadow are that darker red, and areas that would be colored by the light are in that lighter red. And that's what gives that really cool effect. If I pull up this ramp shader again, you can also play with how much the light affects it and how much the dark affects it. You can also add more colors. That doesn't make it a two shade light angle shader anymore. It makes it a 3 shade or a 4 shade or whatever you want to do. But basically that's the process. So what now if I want that cartoon outline? I mean, right now I've got kind of this cool cell shaded thing kind of going on right now. But what if I want that hard outline? Well, again, what we do is we select whatever it is that we're trying to create that outline with. And instead of assigning a fill shader, we're going to assign an outline. And we can go to a new Toon outline. And right now, you can see, well, I'm not sure what color that is, to be honest with you. So you can find that outline here in the outliner. It's the PFX Toon 1 here. And now a couple things you can see there's a lot of options here you can play with. If we really want to kind of show this off, let's increase the line width so we can see what's going on. So now you can kind of see we've got that sort of thin outline. I like to make it even thicker. I mean, what happens if we go to say 2 or something like that? Make it crazy, make it noticeable if we're going to do it. And another thing that we can do is we can go down here and we can change the profile color. Maybe we don't want it to be black. Maybe we want it to be maybe even a darker version maybe a more intense, darker version of that red that we've been using. Although, to be honest, it still looks black, doesn't it? Pull that up. If we start bringing that up, what does that do? Okay, there we go. So just had a little bit too dark, I guess. Bring that down. So it's not quite black. It's a little bit more of that skin color. So anyway, that's what I was playing with. We can do the same thing for the pants or the axe or any props that we might have in this scene. Well, if you really want to dive into this, get a little bit more in depth, there are a ton of videos, I believe, here. I've got them pulled up here. A ton of videos here on YouTube that can go through a lot of that sort of thing with you. Also, feel free to just kind of explore and play along on your own. Again, the stroke, the outline, shows up here in the outliner, whereas that ramp shader will show up here in Hypershade, where you can play around with those kinds of attributes. So like I said in that blog post, I'm gonna have to create some kind of a shot that's just takes advantage of this sort of thing. I don't know, in my head I'm seeing this like kind of crazy, wacky, really fast action, cartoony action shot of some sort. Just something that's specifically for this render style, just because I really think it's pretty cool. So that's all I've got for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.